Latest information just came down from the National Hurricane Center on Hurricane Matthew. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Efren Afante. We just got information that it is still a Category 4 hurricane, but the dynamics have significantly changed. Wind speeds at 145 miles an hour, gusting to 175. It's picked up a little bit more speed north-northeast at 14 miles an hour, but the pressure has dropped down to 928, and the pressure in millibars is how we gain the strength of the center of this tropical cyclone. Now, the information that is gathered, it is very likely going to make landfall within the next, probably between 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon, right over Panama City, Florida, very likely with winds sustained at least 140 miles an hour. Here's the change. By later on this evening, it is forecasted to be south of Albany, Georgia as a Category 2 hurricane with wind speeds of over 100 miles an hour. And as it makes its way through Georgia into South Carolina, it is projected at some point before daybreak, it'll be crossing over the Savannah River and moving through South Carolina until it's finally out of here by later on Thursday. That's change number one. Change number two, the wind speeds, I do believe, are still going to be between 45 and 60 miles an hour sustained, but the track has now moved a little bit more to the northwest by about 50 miles. That is going to pose a considerable concern for the inclement weather potential for tomorrow. Now, this is what 928 millibars looks like. A very, very well-defined eye right smack in the middle of this tropical cyclone, and it is about 52 miles to the south-southwest of Panama City. And if this trajectory stays true, it's going to make landfall right in Panama City, and it's a monster storm. I mean, the clouds are from as far west as Mississippi and as far east as Jacksonville, Florida. Tropical storm warnings remain in effect for pretty much all of South Carolina until further notice, and that does include all of our Midland communities, as well as the flash flood watch in effect for the Midlands and pretty much all of South Carolina, with the exception of the Low Country. This is what we're expecting as far as the severe weather criteria for tonight. Tropical storm wind gusts will start moving in along the Savannah River and into the Midlands, possibly overnight tonight, but we're looking at only a few isolated areas where the wind may gust up to 39 miles per hour. The rain will be relatively moderate. Not expecting flash flooding or the tornadoes, but we still have a slight risk for severe weather. There is a chance now we could see some isolated tornadoes in the Low Country and along the coastline later on today. It's an isolated chance, a minimal chance, but there is that chance. The risk for as strong storms as possible for the rest of the Midlands throughout the day today. Tomorrow, this is where it's changed. Even though the graph hasn't changed, the tropical storm winds will likely be the case. Many of our Midland communities will see wind gusts at least 39 to 40 miles an hour or more. And there's a definite sign that we'll have a heavy rainfall at times that will lead to flash flooding. Here's the change in the tornado risk east of the track. Remember, the track is now positioned somewhere in the northwestern Midlands. So if you want to draw a line just to the west of Edgefield County off the Savannah River, all the way through Saluda, Newberry, western Winnsboro, and then our western Fairfield into Chester and York County. So that is the trajectory line at this time. That means that the severe weather polygon is going to be shifted further west. The bottom line is that strong to severe storms are likely tomorrow morning, afternoon, and evening for pretty much everything along and east of I-20, from Augusta to Columbia to Florence to Dillon County and everything to the east. The risk for tornadoes is going to be likely not only coastal and coastal inland communities of South Carolina, but now for not just the extreme eastern, but the eastern and southern portions of the Midlands. I wouldn't be surprised if this slight risk does get pushed further west, in which it would include portions, if not all, of Kershaw, Richland, Lexington, and Aiken counties. The official track doesn't keep it now, but I do suspect that that will shift to the west. So we're going to be needing to watch very carefully, not only for the impacts of the tropical storm wind gusts and the heavy rainfall tomorrow, but now the possibility of any tornadic activity for the eastern half of South Carolina. The rainfall we are expecting for today, but the biggest impact is the amount of rainfall we're expecting. The computer models have shifted a little bit further to the west, but still, anywhere in the Midlands we could experience 3 to 4 inches of rainfall, and localized still could be up to 5, especially if the track shifts back over to the east. So keep in mind that that's a lot that we're watching. But again, Category 4 hurricane, this is expected to make landfall within the next 2 to 3 hours in Panama City, Florida, as a Category 4 without at least 145-mile-an-hour winds. And as a Category 2 moving through Georgia, by the time it gets to us, there is no doubt that we'll be feeling tropical storm force winds of 45 to 60 miles an hour tomorrow morning through tomorrow afternoon and evening before it moves out into North Carolina.